Hello, everybody. It's gonna be a little bit different of a style of video because I usually play Mario Kart and fucking Super Sluggers and shit like that. But today we're just doing a little bit of a deep dive as to kind of what I think the horrendous state of YouTube is, and beyond the greater YouTube and everything like that. So there is no script because I don't use scripts or anything like that for my videos because I don't want to do all that work, and I'm not trying to, to basically go against somebody. I'm not trying to like debunk anybody's thoughts or however that goes. But everything that I say today is my own opinion on the matter. It's not saying it's complete fact, and it's also not me saying to attack certain people or you should feel a certain way towards those kind of people or anything like that. So please take everything that I'm about to say with a grain of salt, and please don't attack or form opinions based on what I think, unless you obviously feel that way as well. So that's my little disclaimer for everything. So we'll go from there. First thing I wanted to touch base on is YouTube. YouTube itself is in a state of decay at this point, where you have the people that play, like, the gaming side of YouTube, where you have like the few giants, I guess you can say, of the people that actually do pretty good content and everything like that, or that have a community and actually listen to community and aren't chasing the bag constantly, right? But then you have people on YouTube who are just chasing the bag and that are doing everything to basically play the system to get everything on their on your For You pages or whatever, on your recommendations, YouTube recommendations, which is fine when what you're doing is trying to chase the bag, right? But at the end of the day, if you're making content based on what's going to get you on the front pages and not what you actually want to make, that's where you're going to start losing that audience, or you're going to have an audience that just makes fun of you for doing this shit content that is just a filler to get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views or whatever it is. And again, I'm not going to name any names of creators, but there are a lot of creators that thumbnails fucking piss me off, man. Thumbnails, I'll touch base on this too. I'm gonna be everywhere during this, but that's okay. Thumbnails, that's a major thing for me. A lot of them have fucking arrows and shit like that, saying like, like if they're doing something with a car, right? I've been watching a YouTuber who like destroys really expensive cars, which is fine and all. Whatever, he has money, spend it, do whatever you want to do, destroy a Ferrari if you want to, or a G-Wagon. Some of you guys might know who I'm talking about, but again, I'm not going to really name names because I don't want people forming opinions. But his content, great. I love watching the content. It's really fun, but I can tell a lot of it is mostly to try to see what kind of, basically just to push it and be as extreme as possible to get as many views as possible, which again is great, and it's really funny watching it, but you can always tell that like deeper down it's not necessarily what it's not natural, I guess, is like a normal kind of content for me. I'm a little bit different in that sense, and I'm not saying I'm better or I'm worse or anything like that, but I'm just saying that my style is a little bit different, where I want to do stuff based on what I want to do rather than stuff that what I think millions of people out in buttfuck nowhere are gonna watch me for, right? So but yeah, so the thumbnails really piss me off. So like if they're working on a car, it'll have like a circle of like a bubble around the car. Maybe I'll put one up behind me or something, but they'll have a bubble of a car, and then they'll have an arrow pointing to it if they're destroying the car or whatever, and it really pisses me off because every other thumbnail is literally just an arrow with a circle and saying to look here, like look there, and then some dude Dude, that's it. That's the thumbnails. That's every fucking thumbnail, and I hate it. I hate it so much, and it pisses me off. Maybe one day I'll do that for one of my thumbnails, just to be funny and all, right? But but whatever. Yeah. Anyways, that's one thing, right? But back to my main point with YouTube, you have the creators that actually create things that they want to create, and it's very visible to when I'm watching them, I can tell that they're actually enjoying it. Then you have creators. I will name names because I am part of this sluggers community, so and there are other creators obviously that are part of the community as well, and Chiz Plays is one of those creators, and I watch his content. I don't watch him anymore, but when I was getting into sluggers and stuff like that, before I had Dolphin, and before and Nintendo, if you're watching this, I do have a copy of Super Sluggers, and that's what I'm playing. I'm not emulating your game. But anyways, with Chiz Plays, I could tell like in the beginning when he first started playing Super Sluggers, he was really enjoying it and he was having a good time. But then slowly but surely, I could see where he was just doing it just because his community liked it, and that's what he was getting the views on, were his Super Slugger stuff. So his reactions were super animated, and he was doing stuff basically based on what he like thought people would want, and it was very visible. And a lot of creators are like that, unfortunately, where I watch it and I can kind of see through the veil a little bit, and it just kind of destroys that. So and you know, and I'll get into other points and stuff like that, but that's just the kind of the skin layer of the YouTube community, or the YouTube fucking government, pretty much of what it is. And then obviously, you know, there's a bunch of other stuff, and I'll get into that later, but that was basically my tangent on thumbnails and stuff. Next up is basically just going to be more of right underneath the skin, which is a little bit, you know, it's more of the muscle, right, of YouTube. You have the people who were giants back in the day. Like I've been watching a lot of stuff recently on the iDub situation, with him and whatever the fuck his boss basically is named, Anissa, some shit, whatever, his girlfriend. About creator clash and stuff like that, and he was friends with H3, and then shit went down, and now they're not friends. He made a content cop on him, even though he said that he wasn't going to make any content cops because he switched his whole personality based around Anissa, whatever the fuck her name is, that freak. And it changed it all. So you have people that were giants, and unfortunately now everybody hates each other, and that's what YouTube is now. It's everybody against everybody, and nobody likes each other, and it's so unfortunate to see, because I see that across, right? Because, and I'll even say this, when I was like not a kid, but when I was like in my early teens and stuff like that, I used to watch Onision on YouTube, right? Everybody remembers fucking Onion Boy, Onision, I'm a banana, that guy, and he's a child, you know? So what are you gonna do? It's unfortunate, but then you have people like that just ruin it for everybody, and people that use that, unfortunately, as a power move over other people and stuff. And looking, if any of you guys want to go down that rabbit hole of like the Onision rabbit hole, I would really highly recommend actually watching a video that gives you like a deep dive as to like where he started and what kind of ended up happening, because it's a very interesting situation. Obviously it's a very serious situation, and unfortunately he hurt a lot of people emotionally, physically, and that's not okay in any sense of the word. So don't try to say that, you know, I'm saying it's okay, but what I'm telling you is the story itself is a very interesting one, and it's interesting to see how it all fell down so quickly. His empire fell, but he was like one of the most like, I think he was like the most subscribed for a very long period of time in the very beginning of his YouTube career and stuff like that, back in like 2007, 2008, when YouTube was in its infancy. And it slowly but surely this stuff started coming out, you know, or his shit was going on. But whatever, you know, if you guys want to go on the deep dive, I highly suggest it. Sorry, I can't speak English today. But it's very interesting. So you have these like people that were something, Shane Dawson, you have, you know, Onision, you have even PewDiePie, but he's fine. He just said some racist things at some point, and now he has a kid on the way, and I'm very happy for him. And he kind of stopped doing YouTube, but then you have the Smosh situation where they were really big, and then they stopped, like everything kind of fell down. So you have all these like broken pieces that everybody's trying to form together, and unfortunately it just creates a power struggle. Because YouTube back then used to be like a friendly little like, oh, we're in the top 10 together, like let's do a vlog, or let's do a video of us going to E3 or whatever, right? And then that slowly, now it's not that anymore. Now it's not like, hey guys, let's be friends and let's do a fucking, you know, a video together. Now it's, what do I got to do to get more views than him, and how do I outdo this person, and how do I be better than this, and I got to do this, which is fine if your community is literally just like a competitive environment. But YouTube, from what I've seen, is purely competitive. There is no there is no friendly competition. Maybe in smaller communities like the Rocket League community, for instance, like they have very friendly, like, oh, who can get to 1 million subs first kind of a situation, which is fine. I like those communities. Rocket League as a game kind of blows to me now. I used to play it a lot. Now I don't anymore, but anyways, that community, like there is stretches of communities that are fine, but unfortunately the majority of the YouTube community is all one against the other, and everybody's fighting to get to the top, rather than everybody just kind of existing and going from there. So it's just very unfortunate to see just the absolute fall of what YouTube used to be, at least for me when I was, you know, a teen and growing up and stuff like that, and now it's just this brutal economy, pretty much, of people just constantly trying to either outdo or outperform somebody, or if they can't outdo or outperform, they try to ruin somebody, and that's all it is now. It's just drama. Everybody, like I said, everybody hates each other, and it's just unfortunate. And you guys may say that I'm making a big deal out of nothing, right? And that's fine. You guys can have that opinion, but at least in my opinion, YouTube isn't the same as it used to be, in the sense that it's not as friendly of a community as it was, unfortunately, and that's what really sucks, because back, you know, way back when I started my first YouTube channel, I don't even know what it was called at this point, but I did like Minecraft videos like every fucking kid. I did Minecraft videos, and when I was doing the Minecraft videos, when I was getting subscribers there, I think I had like 30 or 40, which was crazy to me back then, but now I have 300, which is insane, so thank you guys again. You have, back then when I had, let's say 30 subscribers, if I found another YouTuber that was a Minecraft YouTuber that had 30 subscribers or 100 subscribers, it wasn't a, like, you know, oh, I need to be better than him, he's a piece of shit, fuck that guy. Like, it wasn't that. I emailed one of them, I think. Well, no, I did email them, but I can't remember the name. Whatever. I emailed one of them, if any of you guys are watching, and it is one of you guys, please tell me, because I'd love to connect again. But I emailed them, and then they emailed me back, and they were like, yeah, dude, let's do a video together. And I think we did I forgot, adventure map or whatever it's called, but we did that on Minecraft, and now it's privated video. Maybe I'll release it to you guys, and I had a really cringe outro and all that stuff. It wasn't professionally done, but yeah, anyways, so yeah, back then it was like, hey, let me email this guy, and I emailed, and, you know, boom bada boom, now we got content together. But unfortunately now it's not like that anymore. Everybody finds a reason to hate another person, and nobody just exists with one another anymore, and unfortunately that stretches out to even the smallest of communities. And, you know, and I'll get into, like, at least like with my situation when it comes to Super Sluggers and everything like that, the Mario community, but yeah, it's just, unfortunately, that stretches, and it's just a complete mess to what it used to be. And continuing on about what I was talking about before with, you know, with it stretching out to smaller communities and stuff like that, is unfortunately that has kind of stretched to the Mario Super Sluggers, or just the Mario community, really. Although the Mario Kart community, they're okay. They're just weird. I guess all the Mario community is weird, in my opinion, and there's no offense to any of you guys. I don't mean any offense when I say things like that, because I'm a very strange individual. I'm weird as fuck, right? And that's, so when I say this, know that it's coming from somebody who's also fucking strange. But the community, the Super Sluggers community, at least the grand majority of everybody in that community is off one way or another. Anybody that does, it's kind of like speedrunners, right? How there was like not a study done, but there was like something that was done where they like looked into all the speedrunner community and stuff like that, and found that like 80% of them had some form of like autism, or they were on like the spectrum. And again, nothing against people that are on the spectrum. I don't mean any harm by saying that, but it's a common thing in speedrunners, and I think it's a common thing in the Super Sluggers community as well, where there's people who are very focused in what they do, and unfortunately it doesn't leave much room for a friendly environment, I guess you can say, right? Because if I am focused on building my community in Super Sluggers, or my channel in Super Sluggers, I'm not worried about what other people are doing. I don't give a shit, you know, if I'm in the zone, I don't give a shit what Chiz is doing or how he's making his videos or whatever, right? That's not that's not anything to do with me. I'm focusing on my shit, right? But if I even reached out at some point, right, because I thought it was really funny, Chiz has like his, or no, I reached out to Chiz, I emailed him, and I asked him if he can say my intro of like, if you guys are not subscribed to the content you see on this channel, but you guys do enjoy the content I produce, I definitely would appreciate a subscriber too, but again, I like will do. That, I wanted him to say it, and me put that as an intro, because I thought it'd be really funny. But he never emailed me back, and that's unfortunate, right? Is, you know, it's, I get it, you know, because it's just some rando, and I'm sure he gets a lot of those like emails and stuff like that, but it's an idea that would have been funny. for a bit or whatever, and unfortunately he didn't read it or didn't see it. And I'm not saying that he did it maliciously. I'm just saying that unfortunately we're in an environment where that's not necessarily something that is looked at in the same way that it used to be. And that is unfortunate. I really want the Super Sluggers community, like where I'm at, right? I really want this community to be a lot more involved with one another and a lot more, you know, welcoming in terms of newer people coming into the community, or what servers to join, how to do like CPU tournaments, or if they want to start their own server, how to do that, or whatever, right? There should be an exchange. There shouldn't be just hatred formed on another person, and that obviously digs deep with my situation, right? Because I have the Bakaraka situation, or Bakri, where he's just a major piece of shit, right? And I can obviously go into detail, and I will do a documentary style video about him and about his situation, but unfortunately he is just very difficult to work with. And it's nothing against him as a person, because I'm sure everything he does is for what he thinks is the better, you know, outcome of whatever it needs to be. But unfortunately, it's just not very welcoming in terms of like if I'm trying to do something with him, or if I'm trying to build up the community or connect people together. There is none of that. There's no transfer of that, unfortunately, and it just sucks, right? And I really wish that there was a way that I could, and maybe you guys can help with that, and then we can go from there. Anyways, YouTube and beyond. This is kind of like the last little, you know, leg of the journey here. I say YouTube and beyond because YouTube, we have, most YouTubers have a Twitch or have a Kick or have a whatever the fuck, right? And so it's those streamers, I guess, that I also have a problem with, and they're not helping the situation. There's a few of them that I have kind of just off the top of my head that I have a not personal problem with, because I don't know them as people, and I'm sure they're great, but just their personas and who they are on screen bothers me. One of those people, and all you guys know who this creator is, but it's Pokimane, and I know this is probably not going to get to Pokimane, but if it does, this is nothing against you. Like I said, I'm sure you're a very nice human being, and I'm not trying to say that you're not. But it's like giving the cheerleader from your school, the most popular girl cheerleader in school, attention. That's what you're doing. You're giving that person an audience, and unfortunately, that's the person that we see. That's the person that I view, is this version of Pokimane that is just a massive piece of shit and is super egotistical on screen. Again, that's not saying that in real life. I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's a good person, but on screen, I hate that community and her group. They're called something. I don't fucking know. I don't keep tabs on it. But their whole group is just like the popular kids at school, and unfortunately they got an audience because they were loud enough in at the right time. And then you have whatever the fuck that dude's name is, that iDubbbz is cool with, that political streamer dude. He's weird. He's weird as fuck. Like the fact that those people even have an audience to me is crazy and is completely beyond me. And I don't get it. But yeah, they just ruin it for everybody, because that's, who do I have to look up to? Who do I have to try to aspire to be? Pokimane? Fucking no, dude. I don't want to be that. I don't, Valkyrie? Like, that's another one. I fucking, Valkyrie and shit like that. Like, those people suck, man. On screen, it's just like, I'm seeing just this, like, shell of a human it's just a slave to the system. And they're making bank, you know, it's whatever. Chase the bag, get your money, however you want to get it. But I just don't, there's no human aspect anymore. It's all just shell. That I'm watching, and it's just a shitty environment, unfortunately, and that's just where the streaming community is, and there's no room for me to go in there, because what am I going to do? I go into the streaming community and I'm streaming Super Sluggers. Nobody's going to watch me. They're going to watch Valkyrie with their fucking shirt off or playing cosplay in a fucking hot tub or whatever the hell they want to do, and you're going to get 300,000 viewers and I'm going to get 4, because that's just how it is. That's the internet, and that's what I have a deep-rooted hatred for is that how the internet is and how people are. And I unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it, except, you know, grow my channel and then be better than them. But that's not who I am as a person, as you guys probably know by now. And that's not what I want to do. So it's just one of those things where it's like the whole community is fucked no matter what. The community, all the way from just the base of YouTube all the way up to Twitch streamers and stuff like that, and unfortunately just the entire way down is shit. Like, here's another real life thing, right? So when I streamed Super Sluggers, right, I privated all those all the streams because it was getting a little wild. But when I was doing a stream, during the stream, or during, like, you know, when I was doing the Super Sluggers CPU tournament thing, we got a little bored, right? So we put on YouTube and we were watching Kay's cooking. And unfortunately, Kay wasn't a huge fan of that, and fucking copyright striked my channel, and took the stream down because we watched her video and we're talking about her video and reacting to it, her shitty cooking. And Kay, again, if you're watching this, I will buy you groceries. Like, you need new food. You can't keep freezing things. But anyways, and that offer is still on the table. But anyways, she copyright striked my shit. So I went back and I said, no, this isn't copyright because I'm talking over it. I'm reacting to it. I'm not just showing the video, and I'm not even making profit. I don't make shit from YouTube. And what I mean, I don't make shit, I mean, I make $0. I've gotten nothing from YouTube, which is fine. I don't care. I don't do these for the money. If I did this for the money, you guys would have seen 4,000 videos by now of Super Sluggers, which would have gotten tiring after a while. But if I'm chasing the bag, I'm chasing the bag, right? But that's not who I am, and that's unfortunately, and whatever. At the end of the day, she just never responded to the copyright strike, my whatever counter to that, and it just dropped, and then she never did it again, or never like redid it or anything like that. And that's the community, right? Because it's not like, oh cool, he's reacting to my stuff, oh he didn't like it, you know, well there's another one. It's not that. It's, you see that they're disagreeing with how you do your videos and they're critiquing you, and instead of just emailing me and saying like, hey, I didn't like the way that you were talking about me or whatever, can you please take this down, it's immediately going to copyright strike. And that's not a community that I like to be a part of. And that's what got me fucking tired of doing YouTube videos, because I was just constantly making videos trying to grow the channel, which I want to do. I want to have a cool channel, you know, a huge channel of 10,000. Dude, if I have 1,000 subscribers to this shit, I'd be crazy stoked on that. That's insane. I'm at 300 now, and that's insane. But either way, right? It's just like, what I made those videos because I'm trying to grow the channel, right? But I know a style of video like this isn't gonna get the views that I need to grow the channel. But again, I need to make a decision, right? It's, do I follow the sheep like all the other YouTubers that all hate each other? They're getting money, but they live in this fucking bubble. Or do I do what I want to do, and it's sacrifice the views but make content that you actually like to produce? And that's kind of what I want to do, and that's why this style of video is a little bit different. And I will go more in depth and stuff like that, but I will, you know, whatever, maybe I'll go with the script next time. But I don't like doing scripts and everything like that. But that's just my take on everything. YouTube right now as a community is great to be a part of, but unfortunately it just doesn't align with who I am as a person. I will continue to make YouTube videos, but what I'm telling you guys is I see everything that's happening around me with YouTube. I see the community. I can see what you have to do to make money and to be this crazy figure. But I don't want to do that. I just want to make videos that I enjoy and that maybe you guys will too. And that's where I'm gonna go with it. And if I don't get views on it, I don't get views on it, but I'm gonna be like, that's dope, you know. In 2 years I'm gonna be like, dude, that was a cool video that I did. I want to be proud of what I do, and I've recorded a bunch of videos, but I'm not proud of what I'm making. So that's why there's no videos coming out. So, you know, maybe maybe it'll change, and we'll go from there. But that was just my take on stuff. If you guys want to leave a comment down below of what you guys think about this style of video, or if you guys want me to talk about anything else, I'm more than happy to do so. And then we'll kind of go from there. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys have made it this far, please comment ribbit down in the comments below, just so I know you got this far. And if you guys are not subscribed to the content you see on this channel, but you guys do enjoy the content I produce, I definitely would appreciate it. Subscribe or two, but again, a like would do. You guys know how it goes. You guys know how it is. There it is. Thank you guys very much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.